Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Balm, the Loving Path to Family Recovery. So, this is an introductory webinar series called 5 Tips to Help You Play a Role in Your Loved One's Recovery. And each of these 5 days, we will focus on a different tip. And I'll be telling you about that in a moment. First, an intro. As we know, use disorders and other challenges often affect families through time and generations. And with each new incident, some of the unaffected family members can be heard saying, "That's his problem, that's her problem." But really, is that true? In the Balm, we would say, no. It's not his problem or her problem. It's our problem. Everyone in the family is affected and every member has a role to play. Let that sink in for a minute, just in case it's new information for you. The fact is that family members are always contributing either to their loved one's use disorder or their recovery. Many of the families who come on these calls have loved ones with a substance use disorder. Some have loved ones with an alcohol use disorder. Some have loved ones with a sex use disorder or a mental health problem or a mixture. There are so many different ways to be challenged and to struggle. And the fact of the matter is that these times right now often bring out what's really going on in a family, because for the first time, people are together. Now, the generations are often separated, but inside of family units, we see a lot of the behaviors that can be well hidden when people are just running on their way, going to do the next thing. So how do family members contribute to making things worse, to bringing about an active use disorder? Not bringing it about, but encouraging it. By what they say, by how they say it, by what they don't say, by what they do, how they do it, and what they don't do. And here's the thing, folks, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So we know that no one likes to be told what to do. That's true of all of us. We also know that a person with a hijacked brain, a brain hijacked by an addiction, by a mental health disorder, most likely has impaired judgment in some areas of their life. And we know that it's difficult when you have a person you love with impaired judgment to not feel that you know best. And you may know best, but being right does not always assure that things will go your way. Maybe it's time to learn which behaviors encourage recovery and which ones contribute to the use disorder. So we invite you tonight and all of this week to consider opening your mind to a new perspective known as the loving path to family recovery. And really, it all starts with loving respect for yourself and for your loved one. And you may be saying, how can I respect them? How can I be loving? Take a nice deep breath and stick around. You'll learn how to bring back the old feelings of respect and love. Maybe not all tonight, but over the course of the week. And as you learn more about the Balm, you'll find out that our evidence-based practices, our two-prong approach of getting your life back and helping your loved one get theirs back. The attitudinal shift, all of these result in a loved one having a much better chance at recovery. We are interconnected in families. So let's talk about this attitudinal shift. What we want you to know is that you have a very important role to play in your loved one's use disorder or recovery. And this week is all about that role that you have. The other parts of the attitudinal shift are an understanding of how change happens and knowing that your loved one can change. This is not hopeless. There is hope. And you can change too. So in this attitudinal shift, you'll learn how to let go of control. Really the operative word is let go of obsessing and tight controls. You'll learn how to let go of things that you can't control so you can focus on the things that you can help with and so that you can avoid, or rather know how to not be manipulated. And finally, as this attitudinal shift takes hold, you become their best chance at recovery. And you'll learn all about the key elements of being your loved one's best chance. We find that these are essentials on the loving path to family recovery. And know this, you have an important role to play, and the stakes are high. So play your role well and make a positive difference in your loved one's life. And our focus this week, as I said, is the 5 tips to help you play your role on the loving path. And the first one is drop expectations. The second, focus on yourself. The third, use leverage. The fourth, set boundaries. And the fifth, get support. Tonight, we're talking about this live. Some of you are listening on recording. Hi. The rest of you are here, and we're happy to have you live. So tonight, we'll start with drop expectations. And then each night or each day of the next week, next 5 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you will get an email with the next recording. Tomorrow, we'll focus on the importance of focusing on yourself. And Wednesday, using leverage. And Thursday, setting boundaries. And Friday, getting support. Now, I really want to be transparent here. The Balm is a 1-year, full-on family recovery program that is unique and robust and shifts families all over the world. It's really making a difference. We get letters every day about families with new relationships with their loved ones and how there's hope again in families where there really wasn't any. And so I'm here to give you a robust teaching this week. But at the end of the week, when we talk about getting support, I'm also going to tell you about how we offer that, what the Balm 1-year family program is. So just be aware that I'm here to teach you, and I'm also here to invite you into our community. So just in the spirit of transparency. So let's start. First, we'll take a look at the first tip, drop expectations. So we're going to look at 2 different scenarios. One is before a loved one ever gets into recovery, and one is after they've gotten recovery. So by gotten recovery, I mean they're in some sort of treatment. So to drop expectations before recovery, that means letting go of what could have been if only they'd gotten recovery. Family outings without people just passing out and getting drunk, lots of together time, a relationship built on mutual respect, harmony in the home, a trustable loved one, family focus. It would have been heaven on earth if only this substance use disorder, alcohol use disorder, whatever the disorder is, hadn't come in and invaded our family. It would have been perfect, and I want it. And so why can't you give it to me? Saying that to the loved one. Drop that expectation. Let it go. before recovery, we're also scared of the what ifs. That, a lot of times infidelity goes with use disorders. What if they meet someone new and leave us? And then for the entire family, whether it's your child or your spouse, what if they never recover? What if they leave the family? What if they die of their SUD? What if the family goes bankrupt from all this money spent on treatment? What if they rob us blind? What if we can't bear it and fall apart? Or what if we all stay together and we're completely miserable? We invite you to drop the what ifs. So now it's early recovery time, right? You got your loved one into treatment. We invite you to let go of the dream of what will be. They're going to get home from treatment. We're going to go out together. We're going to have family parties. We're going to get together with the loved ones, with the relatives. We're going to have so much together time. And there's going to be all this income, and it's not going to be going out anymore. It's just going to be coming in. And I'm sure they're going to apologize, because who wouldn't? They're going to help around the house. They'll have high energy, and it will be heaven on earth. And all I can say to you is, maybe, maybe not. So drop the expectation of what early recovery will be. And at the same time, we invite you to drop the what ifs. Again, what if they meet someone new in the program and leave us? What if they leave treatment early? What if they don't go to meetings? What if they go to too many meetings? What if the family goes bankrupt from all of this expense? What if they relapse? What if we fall apart? What if we stay together and we're miserable? Similar, right? So whether they never get to recovery or do get to recovery, we still have a lot of thoughts swimming around in our heads of how we think it should be, could be, or God forbid, may be. And what we invite you to do in Balm Family Recovery is simply face reality, because any of those things could happen. What you need to know is substance use disorder is chronic and recurring. Before or in recovery, they may be disinterested in recovery. They may be sobriety driven. They may be unpredictable. They may be preoccupied with their recovery or preoccupied with getting back to work. They may be completely unapologetic. They may be resentful and angry. They may be loving and grateful. They may make new friends and you may be lonely. They really may struggle, but the fact is you do not have to. Why drop expectations? Why can't I just sit in the pain of it all, or the yearning, or the longing? One of the things that family members really need is space to breathe. And one of the things that your loved one needs is space to travel on their journey. That doesn't mean you ignore or go into denial, or if something needs to be done, you don't do it. But it's important to know what is yours to do and what is yours not to do, and to let go of future tripping and to be in right now. Because when you don't, you're really contributing to making things worse. When you don't, your thinking gets foggy and you can't make clear, effective decisions. But you may ask, how do I drop expectations when the stakes are so high? Tomorrow's topic will answer that question as we look at how focusing on yourself will help you contribute to your loved one's recovery. And you may be thinking, oh, come on, focus on myself? I came here to find out how to help. This is a multifaceted problem with multifaceted solutions. And one of the interesting things about our approach is it addresses all of the facets. And when there's something that's beyond us, we help you find the people who can help you with that. Being a family member is hard. It's especially hard right now during this pandemic. That's why we're running this. We're seeing families transform before our eyes every day. And so we want every family to have access to as much of this as they can. And we know that some of you are going to want more, and we'll let you know more about that at the end of the week. So we invite you to consider this series of webinars an invitation to change your family tree. So come to the intro sessions on demand for the rest of the week. Learn all you can. You may want to read our book, Bohm, The Loving Path to Family Recovery. You can find it on our website at bohmfamilyrecovery.com or on Amazon. And consider how the loving path could help you and your family. And remember, everyone, be a loving mirror.